Hey Virgo, how's it going? My name is Dre. Thank you for watching this. So this is the August reading. Of 2017. Oh my gosh, I should re-record this, but whatever. I already started. But before I start, I do want to say that thank you guys so much for watching. I have a really small audience here, but I appreciate it totally. And I've gotten so comfortable with doing these and understanding like the patterns between each sign each month. And I really appreciate you guys for your feedback. And I will say, the more I do this, again, the more comfortable I am in understanding the way I do tarot. Thank you for the people that have offered to do private readings and that have emailed me. But I will say that the way I do readings is that, what I've noticed is that I don't use it to predict the future. I don't believe that I can do that. That's sort of where I feel like this stops for me, like being able to actually give people yes or no answers for certain things in terms of like, will this or won't this happen? And that's not how I view tarot as being. I view it as you being able to take the guidance that I'm giving you for any particular moment of time, specifically for right now, for you. I don't usually do, when I do a private reading, I can do readings for the other person, but at least with these monthly videos, it's specifically for you. And I know there's cross watchers and, that's fine, but yeah. And I also want to bring up that I think time is an illusion, that, whether or not I'm doing this in the middle of August or the beginning of August, or, right now it just happens to be the middle of eclipse season. But, regardless, like I feel like this information is whatever you need. It's whenever you need to hear it, that's when it's the most salient. That's when it holds the most weight. And we learn our lessons through karmic cycles. We learn the same mistakes over and over and over again until we figure out how to break that chain. So as far as, whether or not this is totally particular or unique to August 2017 or August 2018, I feel like the same lessons will be here, just totally different. So, we each are all on our own path, and the guidance that you need now is something that you need for right now. That's how I feel. That's how I see astrology. Or that's how I see astrology and tarot. Astrology is a little bit more different because that's kind of more scientific. But at least with tarot, it's just for immediate release, and it's not really for, it's hard for me to say. It's easy for us to see where we've been and where we are, to understand where we're going, essentially, because, the future is always an unknown. Nothing's written in stone. So with that being said, let me get started with the reading. We have the Ace of Swords, the Eight of Wands in reverse, the Ten of Wands in reverse, the Eight of Cups in reverse, Six of Wands, the Chariot in reverse, Ten of Swords in reverse, Seven of Pentacles in reverse, and the Hierophant. Bottom of the deck we have the Five of Pentacles in reverse. And as an additional card, the Queen of Swords in reverse. So right now, excuse me. So right now, Virgo, the sun is in your solar 12th house. So now is the time of actual, like, a lot of mental preparation for you guys to, like, sort of understand where you've been in the past 12 months and where you're going to go as we go into Virgo season, which is like a week away as I'm recording this. So right now, I feel like there's a chance for you to start over again. But right now, it's more about recollecting on the past. It's about recollecting your history. I feel like there are a lot of strings that have been left untied. There are a lot of loose ends that have not been truly connected. In terms of consider where you were a year ago, you know, how have you come to a new place emotionally? Have you been able to relieve yourself of any past burdens? Because we do have two tens, Ten of Swords and the Ten of Wands. So I feel like for some of you, it's either you've had like a serious like breakup, or you've reached the end of a situation with either where you're working or with simply the way you expend your energy, wherein you might feel like, or you're contemplating it, or it's happened already, and you're trying to figure out what to do next with that, because we have the Ten of Swords and the Ace. And since this Ten of Swords is reversed, I feel like you've already undergone this. You've already dealt with some sort of heartbreak or some sort of emotional pain. And you're trying to understand, trying to pick up the pieces to see where you're heading now. I feel like the most important thing to understand and to realize is that you have there is this fountain of optimism that you need to draw from. There is a strength that you need to sort of bring in. And I feel like it's going to be mostly where you're going to get that is from what you actually stand for. The Hierophant, it being the only, well, the Chariot as well, are being, the only major arcana here. I feel like there's this bedrock of support. There's this bedrock of what you're totally familiar with, what you're comfortable with, sort of your life path that I feel like you need to be able to draw on in order to sort of turn this sort of hectic period. And if it's not hectic, it's probably just right now like really like out of sorts, because again, it is eclipse season. Mercury is retrograde in Virgo. I forgot to mention that. So yeah, right now it's just a period of you needing to bring everything together to make it work for you. It's sort of like the last hurdle before you're able to sort of understand what position you're going to be going into the end of the year. Whether or not you're going to be able to deal with what you're given in Virgo season, or if there's more that you have to sort of reanalyze and rebalance. Because Virgo season, Virgo being a mutable sign, is a transitional time. We're transitioning out of summer into fall. We're transitioning into the time wherein we're becoming more inward thinking, more inward focused. People start, if you work, especially like me, like I work production, or if you work like retail or anything, if you work in the service industry, essentially, that's when, I guess it could be any industry, but that's when like the work starts to pick up, and, or you're probably having to make more money now, if you want to pay for Christmas. It's like that sort of energy where it's like you're trying to get all your ducks in a row before the year ends, before things change again in Capricorn season, which is the next Earth sign. And it's the start of the winter season technically. So I feel like for a lot of you, it's more about you're having like a sort of an eye for the future. And so that's what's the most important for you right now. And so right now it's crucial to understand like what dead weight haven't you let go of? Where have you sort of been slacking in terms of standing up for yourself with this Five of Pentacles in reverse? Because I get the sense that for a lot of you, Virgo, this past year has been about you being more comfortable to being able to sort of stand in your own truth, being able to stand and vocalize that. When Jupiter was in Virgo last year, and then when it transitioned into Libra, that was sort of your call to be more vocal in terms of how you choose to express yourself when it comes to your self-worth, the money you make, the people that, again, are worth your time, the people that are going to be there for you. And so with this Queen of Swords, I see it as like, with Queen of Swords in reverse and the Ace of Swords upright, you probably a little bit withdrawn right now, and you're really, again, you're analyzing and you're deciding who's worth it, who's not, whether it's like in love, whether or not it's like in work, or if it's like internal. I feel like or if you like want to start something new, like some of you might want to start a new like exercise program or health thing or diet or whatever, because right now you're analyzing, well, you know, you might feel sluggish right now. You might feel like, well, I haven't been getting the proper amount of movement that I need. So that could be something as well. But whatever you're going, you know, whatever you're trying to achieve, whatever you're trying to bring in and get people on your side, because Six of Wands, that's other people showering us with praise as well. I feel like you need to understand your strengths. So understanding your strengths and your weaknesses is going to be a huge benefit for you going forward. And if anybody can put in the work, it's Virgo. So I feel like for a lot of you, again, it's like you're threading the eye of the needle and you're trying to really figure out where you can sort of take this. Because again, I'm getting the sense that for some of you, you've just been down, you've just been feeling like sort of bleh. At least in general, that you haven't really felt inspired yet. But that's only because, you know, the sun is in Leo in the 12th house. So for you, it's more like you're observing everybody have fun, while meanwhile you're like in the background sort of quietly trying to make everything work. But I feel like as long as you're geared towards something that is going to relieve you of any emotional stress, and that's going to be totally in line with where you feel like what your path is, which is with the Hierophant, you have to be willing to allow yourself the ability to see that clearly, because right now you're probably not really seeing it clearly. So it's really going to come from being you at your most Virgo, which is, you know, being the analyst that you were born to be, and recognizing what works, what doesn't. Where have you not taken enough initiative? Where have you allowed other people to sort of do that for you? And what is it that you have a right to be proud of being a part of? So now I'm pulling cards from the Osho Zen deck, just for a little extra stuff, because this is the eclipse season. As I record this, the full moon in Aquarius already happened, the lunar eclipse on the 7th, and the and the second new moon in Leo has not happened yet. Okay, so cards we have are Exhaustion, which is the 9 of Wands. We have the Miser, which is the 4 of Pentacles. Maturity, which I feel like is the Ace of Pentacles. And the 2 of Rainbows, or the 2 of Pentacles, Moment to Moment. And we also have Courage, which is Strength. So, and we also have, for a possible outcome, we have the Page of Pentacles, Adventure. So yeah, there's a lot of earth energy here as well. So I'm getting the sense that, yeah, you guys have run yourselves ragged. We have the 8, 9, and 10 here. So there are situations that you need to really be unafraid to let go of going into your season. You want to start your birthday season in the cleanest slate possible. Whether or not you were a Virgo sun, moon, and rising, because when the sun is in Virgo, that affects all that energy. It also affects any other planets you have in Virgo. So try to be in a position where you're able to start off quick, and you don't have, you can hit the ground running, and you don't have to sort of deal with any of the karmic BS that you've carried over the past 12 months. And so what this lesson is going to teach you that, you have been, I feel like for some of you, we hold on to things simply because, we hold on to hurt, we hold on to pain, we hold on to our money because we're just afraid to lose that. And we're afraid, we identify so closely with it to the extent that, it's like a safety net in some sort of way. It's why people, might be in a bad relationship for a while, or you might even live in a crappy home for a while, just because, there might be sentimental value, placed to it. But it's recognizing what is actually to our benefit, what's actually to our use, being useful for us, and what isn't. And so we can't be defined by our habits and our, not our addictions, but what we hoard, what we cling to, because at the end of the day, that just weighs us down even more. So again, with this Ace of Swords, use that energy. And with this Ten of Swords in reverse, it might be hard, Queen of Swords in reverse, to see this as you guys. It might be hard to actually come to a position where you feel a lot more comfortable to remove yourself out of this, but any step toward that works. With maturity and moment to moment, that's telling me that, just the Zen Tarot with these Zen cards is all about not forcing things. Things should always come easily. We should never have to fight to sort of live in our true self, to live comfortably in our shell. So with maturity and with moment to moment, you have these tools with you. You know that you've overcome a lot, and you understand that where you are now is just a bigger piece of the huge puzzle. You're just trying to do your piece as best you can. And so to really be free is to understand that, it's not about the existential crises, and it's not about, needing to hang on to emotional baggage. We do that naturally, but you have to understand while we're going through this that at the same time that's making us hurt a lot more with this Eight of Cups in reverse is leaving deeper scars. But, we have to be patient with ourselves, and we have to be willing to see ourselves being able to be in a position where we're not hurting so much anymore. And so with this Page of Wands, with adventure, it's telling me that, there's no fun in this journey, but, it's a journey regardless. It's something because life moves ever forward. It's not, it's huge swaths of life isn't fun. But, that's how we gain this experience. That's how we become clearer thinking and cleaner in spirit the further we go through life. So, yeah, you have the courage on your side as well. Just remember that you were put on this earth for a reason. We're all born for a reason. And it's not simply to be in pain or to be a victim, but to rise above our circumstances and to at least live in a way as freely and as unimpeded from stress and BS as possible. So thank you so much, Virgo, for this. I will see you guys next month. And yeah, bye.